good morning and welcome. This is the beautiful game on the Monday morning after Chelsea have been crowned Club World Cup champions. Are they the best club in the world? Well, that is up to debate. But I know that definitely Mary has her take on that particular topic. Hello, Mary. Good morning. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Good. So it all happened yesterday. I know we've spoken about this in the preceding week, but Chelsea obliterated PSG in quite an unexpected manner. This was a shocker. This is why we love the beautiful game. This is why we love football. Chelsea are Club World Cup champions. What are your thoughts, Mary?
To be frank, Chelsea deserved to win. It was a match in which they outclassed PSG. Many people were disappointed by PSG's outing yesterday. We expected a lot more. They'd been having a very good year. The season has been was excellent for them, so to speak, because they already had like 3 cups in their kitty. This was supposed to be like the 4th one, and so many people were looking forward to PSG winning. They've been having a good streak, and let's not forget the fact that no matter how we look at it, they fought tougher teams to get to this final. I was speaking with a colleague earlier today, and I said, "Oh, you guys had it easy." He's a Chelsea fan, because when you look at it, most of Chelsea's opponents in the Club World Cup were South American teams, Brazilian teams, and all. But then PSG fought hard, and then they came to the final, and unfortunately, they did not step up to the mark. I saw Dembélé looking stunned, and I'm like, Usman, what were you thinking? Like, you guys could have done a lot better than this. There is no denying the fact that Chelsea deserved to win. From the start of that match yesterday till the very end of the game, they played beautifully. They
did. Now, you see, not only pundits, analysts all across the globe, even bookmakers, Chelsea were clear underdogs, and it was reflected in the odds that were given bookmakers released out there. PSG were priced at about 1.6 to 1.7 odds, and Chelsea were priced at over 5 odds, about 5.4 odds. So PSG were clear favorites. And like Mary mentioned, coming up onto this match, they had won 4 trophies already. Champions of Europe, they blazed through. They took down Liverpool, took down Arsenal, took down Aston Villa, took down Man City. And then that extraordinary final against Inter Milan, a 5-0 drubbing. I mean, only a few people expected or thought. And to Chelsea fans out there, a number of people who stood up for their team, who wanted to fight for their team, well, it was a great day, because, I mean, a number of them didn't let my phone rest, messages and calls and all of that. They went against Toyosi. But let's take a look at the lineups here, at what we expected, at the player ratings. I'll take a look at the stats a little bit later on. Let's start with what we have here. Something quite interesting here was the lineup, and I'll start with what Enzo Maresca did. Now, look at Enzo Maresca. This was a game changer. Now, why do I say it was a game changer? Of course, Reece James, captain of the team, we know how he can be a good player. But then when I saw the lineup and I saw Malo Gusto and Reece James in the same lineup, I thought that maybe he was going to line up with a 5-man defense. No, he didn't just line up with a 5-man defense. He went with his normal 4 back: Colwill, Chalobah, Gusto, and of course, the quite excellent Cucurella. I'm surprised that he has been that excellent in his previous times. And Reece James was moved into midfield. I made mention right here on this screen, and I said, if Chelsea are going to win, this man has to have a very good game. Moises Caicedo, and he did. He was a linchpin in that particular defense. I didn't expect Chelsea to play like this. Look, let me tell you facts. I didn't expect Chelsea to play like this, but I said that if they were going to win, if they were going to have a chance, a lot will rely on this man, and that was how it turned out.
I mean, PSG weren't playing as if there was $2 billion on the table. I mean, we're talking about $2 billion.
Oh, no, Mary, not. So the total, it was 1 billion shared across prizes, and then the winner takes 125. You know, it was going to be a 10 million difference. But you see, it was not even just about the money, which of course is big. You're looking at a Club World Cup that will give you double of what the winner in La Liga would take.
Yes.
The only league that will pay you more for winning than the Club World Cup as it is at the moment was the EPL, which will give you about 181 million. That was what Liverpool got, approximately. But this one, to win it, you get approximately between 110 and 120 million. That was quite something. But then, how much can we say? Now, something happened last week while we were also reviewing, going through this game, previewing this game. We mentioned a Chelsea PSG XI. Which Chelsea player will make a PSG XI? And for me, the only player I picked was Enzo Fernandez and probably a Caicedo, depending on the formation the coach would want to play. But my, oh my, we reckoned without the cold man, Cole Palmer, man of the match performance, 2 beautiful goals. What that guy did on that particular day, he shut everyone up. Cole Palmer, great performance from him.
First goal, second goal, it was amazing.
It was. And then also this guy. See, I think this is going to be the difference maker for Chelsea this season. Now, if they can carry this form into the season, as it were, they are definitely title contenders. Well, I don't want to hear Enzo Maresca give that talk about not being title contenders. That was the grouse I had with Enzo Maresca. I still remember that match against Everton, going to win that match against Everton. If they win that match against Everton, then they'll go on top. They go on top the table, and then Liverpool fall back with 1 game in hand. And then they asked Enzo Maresca at the press conference, "Are you title contenders?" Baba went, that was where Chelsea started going down. And then he goes, "No, we're just going match after match." Well, this time, Enzo Maresca, I hope you're wiser. Chelsea, with this team and with the way they played against PSG, they are title contenders. And then let's get over to the PSG side, and this is where the shocker was.
Before you talk about the PSG side, I would argue what you said, because remember, PSG had also been having a good run, and so everyone thought, oh, they are in form, they are in this. Football is a very funny match, and I know a funny game, and I know that's why many people love it. The fact that it's not as predictable as you would want. So this might not necessarily define the kind of season Chelsea might have, though of course we keep our fingers crossed that they'll do really well. Oh yeah.
I'm not saying they'll win it, but they will contend, because even when they were not as good as they are now, they were as good as contending. Now, with the addition of this dude here, Joao Pedro, with Cole Palmer coming back into form, and then, do you know that when this happened, Liam Delap came in as a battering ram after Joao Pedro went out, and the guy had 2 or 3 clear-cut chances. It was a battering ram. Nicholas Jackson, sorry, but Chelsea fans don't want you. I'm definitely sure that you're going for a sale and all of that. So, yes, definitely title contenders. Now, let me take a look at PSG, and this was where the shock was. Now, PSG play, talk has been made about Hansi Flick's Bayern Munich, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool as the sides that go with the gang pressing, that high press. Doué, Dembélé, Kvaratskhelia, with the way they press high. Hakimi, most of the times, right in front of Doué. But you see what PSG do to other teams was exactly what Chelsea did to PSG. In such a way that they shut down this guy, Nuno Mendes. For me now, there's been that talk. People have been speaking about how Chelsea were excellent. Yes, they were excellent. But this guy had a very bad game. Very, very bad game. If you look at that way, that was leading up to that second goal, the header that he planted inside for the guy that gave the assist, Mendes had a very, very bad game. Kvaratskhelia was basically silent. And a lot of times, there's been that complaint of Kvaratskhelia holding the ball for too long. That also happened, holding the ball for too long. This midfield was shocking. Neves had a red card for pulling Cucurella's hair. It was basically frustration. But Vitinha was kept short. Ruiz was kept short. Marquinhos, Beraldo, Donnarumma, some good saves. Chelsea could have even scored more. It was shocking. But you see, for me, what exactly PSG do to other teams, that was exactly what they did. Malo Gusto, I don't know how this guy came up trumps that day. He neutralized these people. They didn't give them that chance. Everything ended in that first half. They choked them. And then they started going for long balls, which they would normally not do. They couldn't play out from the back. For me, kudos to the way Enzo Maresca set them up. Cucurella and Gusto, the same thing that they do. With the stats, which I'm going to get to now in a bit, you understand how they were able to defeat this. Mary, generally, at the end of it, was it a shocker for you?
It wasn't a shocker, actually, because my opinion was, if these two teams could make it to the final, it's anybody's game. I was looking at it that, okay, Chelsea, would they be able to pull it off? But then, of course, PSG, also young guys. And that's the thing about the two teams, mainly young guys. So they still have their future ahead of them, a lot of prospects and all. So fingers crossed as to what the next season brings. It's going to be a very exciting one considering these two teams.
All right, let me rush over and take a look at some of the stats as the game went on. Of course, look at it as possession. Chelsea had less possession, but they did a lot with it. Just 32% of the possession as against 61% for Paris Saint-Germain. In contest, it was 7%, but they did so much more with that particular possession that they have. Now, let me look at something that might interest you here. Final third entries. As much as PSG had 24 from the left channel, from left inside 8, from the central channel 9, at each final third entry, even from the right, they had more than Chelsea. But the point was this: Chelsea, they were more, they were more efficacious when it comes to how they use those entries. And the side channels, look at it, a lot from the left and the right, they use it quite well. But then at the same time, Cole Palmer's goal came from the center, if you remember. So 2 goals from that center, maybe all the goals, these guys did very well. When it comes to receiving offers, PSG also still received more. But like I said, Chelsea got to do more between them.
And you know,
now,
something else about Chelsea, they played in such a way that you would think that maybe there's AI involved. Precision, a lot of work went into their training, obviously. The way they marked the other players, everything was just well done. Chelsea deserves the congratulations.
Definitely, definitely.
There is no doubt.
Looking at the other stats here, line breaks, attempted line breaks, completed line breaks, attempted defensive line breaks, and also this one, it was quite almost even at this particular point, but I'll say generally. And then even to distribution, because of those long balls, they were trying to play across Chelsea, as it were. They were unable to do that. That was not the normal way. Kudos to Enzo Maresca and the way they set up. It was quite unexpected, but hey, that is the reason why we love the beautiful game. That's the reason why we love football. Well, Chelsea are saying that they are the best club in the world. That's up for debate. That's up for debate, because there's that talk about, hey, you didn't have a Barcelona, did you have a Liverpool, did you have some other teams, did they come for the Club World Cup? Well, we're not there, but then that debate can still be had. They beat the club that people would say are the best. Does that make them the best? Well, let's know what you think on social media. We'll be back after this particular time. And that's it on The Beautiful Game. Thank you very much, Miri. We will be right back after this.